these teams will earn a shot at the Lombardi. The AFC title game is underway. This will be a touchback, so we're going to need our first snap to see the first action of this game. So their offense out now to get this game started. It's 1st and 10. Running back, motioning right. From the gun, here's Akers. Gets it ahead, has about 5 yards. Jabril Peppers bringing that one to an end. Give him 5 on that carry. Bring up 2nd and 5.
Humble 5-6-yard gain on the ground. Not a huge gain. Not a game-changing play by any means. But one that keeps you on schedule and takes some of the starch out of that front 7.
Halfway to the marker. It's 2nd and 5. Carry. This is Najee Harris. And he's down after getting this up to the 41. That one ends up a gain of 6. And he'll bring up a Pittsburgh first down.
Well, looky here. You don't even have to worry now about a 3rd down call as that run moves the sticks. Now that call you had ready, though, you can recycle it. Save it for later for that next 3rd down coming.
First and 10 from the 41. Play action, it's Fields. Close secured by George Pickett. And they'll have it a little shy of the 40 as he goes out. They get 18 yards out of it and a new set of downs. They'll head up 1st and 10 from the 42. Field throwing here. Completed here to Pickens. He's still going at the 30. That's 16 on the pickup. And that's the Steelers' first down.
I love throwing that first down. And when you see a first down pass just like that, it's taking advantage of the matchup you plan for, and you go out and execute.
They've got themselves another 1st and 10. Shotgun snap to Fields. Snared by his running back. It's Najee Harris. He gets forward, and that's about 4 yards. Stopped by Foye Oluokun.
I call this quarterback's best friend. Some call it a safety valve, some call it automatic, but it's sure nice as a quarterback when you got a trusty running back over the middle of the field that you can depend on.
2nd and 6 coming up here. From the gun, they go with Harris. And he's tackled after gaining a handful.
You know, Kate, these are some of the little hidden plays in a game. Right? Doesn't look like a whole lot on the stat sheet, but A, it gets you good yardage. B, it sets up your play action. And C, most importantly, keeps that defense guessing.
Short yardage situation here. It's 3rd and 2. That one's out and cut on the right side. It's brought down a little short. No, actually they do give him the 10-yard line. That one gains 7. And he'll bring up a Pittsburgh first down. to give to Harris from the gun. And he can only get a lone yard. Took a couple of guys to haul him down near the line.
Okay, that's a run that's ho-hum on the stat sheet, but if you see a bigger play on the ground later on, it'll largely be because of a play just like that one, softening up the front and opening the door for a bigger gap in the future.
They'll come to the line here, 2nd and 9. Fields out of the gun. Pocket isn't holding up. They're able to drop him. And that pushes them back. 3rd down coming up.
Yeah, that's what I call an absolute no-no. I mean, that just can't happen down here in the red zone. You've got to find a way to get rid of the football because now you're not only outside the red zone and you put some points that you thought were a guarantee with either a touchdown or field goal, now a little bit in limbo.
So not an enviable spot here as they come up on 3rd and very long. Backfield is empty as they motion him out right. He's got Harris. And he's going to be stopped at the 17-yard line.
Awareness. Kate, you hear me and so many others talk about it a lot with quarterbacks, but it's critical for every unit on a football field. And for the defense right there, have an awareness of knowing where the marker was to make sure that completion wasn't going to move the chains. Well, I know once that drive stalls out, that's where it really pays to have that reliable kicker on the sideline ready to bail you out. And he knocks that one right through to give him the lead.
Now Boswell on to send this away. Parker Washington with the return. He's got a lane up past the 30. And he's out of bounds. This is a great start for them already on their opponent's side of the field.
Hey, listen, I get it. I'm as guilty as anyone. So hyper-focused on offense and defense, often forgetting it's special teams in a play like that.
Yard play, Brock, and they've got a fresh set of downs.
Now, right there, that's what you want to see on your opening drive. Boom! Connect on a
offense here. ETN. And he's not going to reach the end zone. They bring him down at the 1. It's 2 yards on the gain, and now it'll be 2nd and goal.
Okay, all right. There's a little progress on 1st and goal. You keep it safe, you push a little closer, and now you're set up for what you want to do on 2nd down.
Now it's 2nd and goal from the 1. From the shotgun, Lawrence. Throw came out right as the defense got to him. That's an incomplete pass. Gonna have to wait a little longer for his first catch of the game. So they'll be left with 3rd and goal.
And this is why scouts talk about a player's closing speed, Kate. You know, once he senses the pressure, he's getting rid of that ball. It takes a player who can close quickly to get to him before it's released. And that sure altered the throw.
So now, here's 3rd and goal. A little touch pass here, trying to move the chains. And he runs it across, touchdown! The Jaguars pull ahead 6-3 in the 1st. Tank Dell the touchdown. Little tacks on the extra points. And the Jaguars one up the opposing field goal. They start with 7 on their opening drive. Is Cook to kick this away. And the kickoff is into and then out of the end zone. Touchback. This drive starting from the 30. begin this drive, 1st and 10. Out of the shotgun, Fields. Catch made by Austin. And he gets leveled just before he reaches the marker, and that hit prevents a first down. So we're through one here in the AF. Second quarter, all queued up and ready to go. It's Steeler football. They're looking at second and pretty short. Now an inside handoff to Harris. And he's dropped just short of the marker, maybe a yard away. A third down run with Harris. And he's downed after getting this up to the 41. 2 yards on the pickup. And that's a Steelers first down.
Win the early battle. Get a little leverage. Low man wins off the line, and that's all that was needed to ensure that first down right there.
1st and 10 from the 41. Harris once more. And he's able to reach that midfield stripe after some solid running. Just a little short, but still a 9-yard pickup. That's going to bring up 2nd and 1.
So much to like about that run, Kate, particularly what he was able to get out of it. The defense, I think, feels a little fortunate they were able to track him down before an even bigger run and crossing that first down marker.
Play action, Fields. No place to go, so he just threw it away. No connection on the last play, and now it's 3rd down. Wilson, the receiver, in motion left. Mike Tomlin eyeing that play clock, and he gets timeout just before it runs out. They're down to their final one in this half. Last pass unsuccessful, and they have 3rd down here. Running back sent in motion left. And she missed over the middle there. Lucky that one didn't end up worse. That swatted away, incomplete. Looking for George Pickens that time. And that brings up 4th and short.
And you ask a lot of your defenders on that field. It is not easy to play defense in today's NFL. Not only stay in their assignments, hip pocket, but to make plays on the ball as it arrives. He was challenged with an intermediate throw, and he swatted it away with ease.
3rd down pass didn't work, but the offense staying out there on 4th. They do snap it. Here's Fields. He connects downfield on 4th. And this is down to the 28 before the defense holds it. Forget that it was 4th down, Rob. That is an impressive 22-yard pickup, and it gets them the first. Running behind center with Harris. And he runs into a wall there. Multiple defenders ready to stop him cold at the line. 2nd and 10 now. Nothing there left side as it ends up incomplete.
They would sure love to connect on some of these intermediate throws, those true throws. Getting a completion like that, well, not only does it spark your offense, but it just sets you up for even more aggressive play calling.
Fields on 3rd. Escapes the pocket. Oh, he's going to run for it. And he'll push this upfield and earn them a new set of downs.
As long as these are the results he's getting, they're going to be just fine with him calling his own number. He does such a good job of seeing the field and knowing when it's his time to take it himself.
Still on the move, coming to the line for 1st and 10. Running left is Harris. And he'll take this only to about the 11 before going down. Give him a few yards on that run. It's 2nd and 7.
They got some positive yards. That's a good thing. But too many plays like that, it just is too hard to pile together, get first downs, gets the better defenses in this league.
Now Fields. He's got it. He'll go down shy of the end zone. They mark him at the 4. They find 7 yards, and now they've got 1st and goal.
That's just great instincts. Go air it out on 2nd down rather than just play conservative and run it. They hit a weak point in the coverage and don't need to worry about 3rd down at all.
Harris. Can't fight past that line. They stop him at the 3.
Hey, I get it on 1st and goal, right? A lot of teams like to be conservative and limit risk. Even if a run is stopped short, you still got 2, sometimes 3 downs to play with.
They'll run with Harris. Only a yard that time. A defensive stand brewing here, and it brings up 3rd and goal.
Well, you haven't given up the goal line yet, but this offense is moving closer and closer. Now might be the time defensively to get a little more aggressive, try to stick them with the loss, and make a difficult 4th down decision.
It's the 2-minute warning now from Acrisure. The Steelers in possession. They've held them out twice. Here we go, 3rd and goal. The defense was ready. They got him at the line. 3 straight runs, stop short of the end zone. And now what do they do on 4th and goal? Here comes Chris Boswell and the Steelers field goal unit. Angling this one in from the right hash to challenge here. Dicker connects there. And that cuts the lead back down to a lower point.
Okay, one of the areas that kickers and quarterbacks are similar, they want to get into rhythm. And no better way to feel good, get into that rhythm, and start a game 2 for 2 as a kicker.
Things trim back down to a single-point Brock as they send this off and away. Washington now to return. Coverage team gets him down at the 26-yard line. The drive will start out with a 1st and 10. Lawrence working from the gun. He's got the hook up to Ingram. That's an 11-yard pickup, and it gives them the 1st down.
That is what elite offenses are all about. Why worry about 3 downs when you need only 1? Move the chains in one play. Keep driving that defense backwards.
First and 10, it's Lawrence. Too much lead on that throw. That ball's incomplete ahead of his target. This one intended for the running back. So it'll be second down. Out of the gun, Lawrence. This one quickly to Dell. And he made a bid for midfield there, but stopped on his own side at the 49.
I'm sure Coach, the play caller doesn't mind making the job a little bit easier. You know, play calling's a lot simpler and easier when you count on the offense to move the chains on those early downs.
On first and 10, here's Lawrence. This is hauled in by Ingram. Big gain, 14 on the play. And that'll be good for a Jacksonville first down.
Good offenses. Okay, good play callers know how to utilize their personnel. They know where they wanted him. They wanted him in a route in space where he could make that initial play comfortably, then go to work after.
Markers reset, ball at the 37. Sticking in the air with Lawrence. Big man showing up the yards. He mixes it in for the Jacksonville touchdown. The Jaguars grow their lead just before halftime. Little able to connect on the point after. And the Jaguars grow their lead to 8. Now is Cook to kick this away. And it bounces out of the end zone, so they'll set up shop at the 30. They'll get this drive started. First and 10. Back to throw. Here's Fields. He's on the move. Slides down with enough to pick up that first. The Steelers use their third and final timeout. And that's all they've got for what little remains of this half.
You know, Kate, back in the day, we had a slip and slide practice for moments just like that. Actually practicing how to slide and get out of harm's way. Nice gain on the play. And denied that defense yet another chance to take a shot on it.
Oh, he put some heat on this deep ball. Left side. That one is incomplete. Couldn't hang on through the contact.
Well, that was almost one of those nice chunk plays you like to see in the NFL, Kate, before he was able to recover and provide the hit and ultimately dislodge the football. You like to see that physical edge and scrappiness to contest any kind of shot plays down the field.
Throwing again on second down. Fields. He'll dump this one off to his running back, complete. It looks like we can call it back 4 yards in the end. Stopped by Foye Oluoku.
That's a defense's goal, right, Kate? Just get us to third down so we can have a chance to get off the field. And that was a good adjustment on that stop in particular. When the back ended up being the target.
Pocket isn't holding up. They're able to drop it. And the defense comes through. That's going to back them up and bring up fourth down. So that's the halfway point of this edition of the NFL on EA Sports. Brock and I will be back right after this. Back from the break, I'm Kate Scott, joined by Brock Heward, and we are just moments away from the beginning of our second half. The Lamar Hunt Trophy waiting in the wings for whoever can finish this game out as we're back underway. Washington now to return. He's brought down at what looks like the 24-yard line. starts out with a 1st and 10. Lawrence looking to throw. Complete to Dell. And he'll take it up to the 30 before being brought down.
That is a textbook 1st down completion. Sets up 2nd and very manageable and creates space to take that shot downfield.
2nd and 4. Connection made, Travis Etienne. And he'll pick up enough to move the chains.
To this day, I can still see the faces of the big guys in the huddle. When you call a screen like that, instead of them just getting knocked backwards, they get to be salesmen. They get to push those linemen downfield and then tee off and go hit somebody like they did right there.
They're set up at the 35 now. They motion the slot man right. And not a lot of room for him as he's brought down. Now after the run, we see he's visibly shaken up. Team medical staffers headed over to take a look. 8 yards to go. Let's see how they approach this 2nd down. From the 37. He gets it complete to Josh Reynolds. And the tackle's made just beyond midfield at the 48. They gain 14 on the play. It's a Jaguar 1st down.
Nice to see that connection, that chemistry working between the two of them.
1st and 10, ball set up at the 48. Here's Lawrence to throw. Toward the sideline, and he's got it. It's a 26-yard pickup there. And that'll be good for a Jacksonville 1st down.
You know, Kate, you'll find teams go to this crossing route concept sometimes a dozen times a game. A lot of times it's for shorter yardage, but sometimes teams break in the right coverage for a much bigger impact play, just like that.
Pass him on the quick hitter. And he's got it inside the 15 before going out.
Just give this guy touches. I don't care how. I don't care when. Just find unique ways to get this running back the ball, and over time, he's going to make you pay.
From the shotgun, Lawrence. And there's a man there. It's intercepted. Patrick Queen in to pick it off. And the Steelers have it now as he makes the 20th interception of his career. There are costly interceptions, Brock, and then there are interceptions inside the red zone in the 2nd half of a 1-score game.
And if there is ever a time where ball security is paramount, it is right now. They made a great play. Don't get me wrong. They deserve a ton of credit right there. But as a quarterback, you cannot risk a turnover. It's touchdown, it's check down, it's throw the ball away. You're literally throwing points away with that pick.
Solid 4-yard gain there, and now they've got 2nd and 6 coming up. A give left side, here's Harris. And he's going nowhere there. Add that to what's been a tough afternoon for him. Looks like no gain on 2nd down, and that leads us to 3rd and 6.
So close to a big loss of yards for those guys up front. 1 second sooner, tackle behind the line. But a stop to celebrate nonetheless.
Throwing on 3rd and long. And that's good yardage there with a new set of downs to boot.
I may love watching a great thrower, but I love watching a well-done route too, Kate. Make that guy think you're trying to stack him only to drop your hips and cut right inside. Some good work to help reset those chains.
1st and 10 give to Harris. And he'll pull his way ahead for a 4-yard pickup.
Well, I'll steal a line from one of my buddies, but I'm going to quote him. Mark Schlereth, 2-time Super Bowl winner, says if you want to run the ball, you got to keep running the ball. And that's a perfect example of it. Don't get tired. Don't get mad at gaining 4 yards. It's a run that can set up even more in the run game.
Taps it quick to the receiver coming across. He's corralled after a modest 4-yard gain. Eric Armstead there on the stop.
This is one of those real modest gains, Kate, that I like as a call. Yeah, it's just a little more variety to your playbook. Makes that defense wonder. Those guys on the other side of the ball think a little bit. This dude's not just a receiver. He may get in the run game as well.
Looking to throw on 3rd and 2. Rolling left, buying some time. Oh, he lost the football. Oh, and the fumble jumps out of bounds. What a break there for the offense. Well, they're going to face 4th down now, Brock, but hey, could be a whole lot worse. Very nearly a turnover there until that sideline saved them.
Yeah, even if this drive is coming to an end, they'll get to do so now, Kate, on their own terms. Get that punter out there and hopefully give their defense a much better field position to defend from.
Looking to throw. He finds it beyond the marker. And he's tackled with a 1st down yardage.
Oh, I love 4th downs. It just brings out the very best. And you get to see how you handle the most pressure. And it turns out they handled it pretty darn well. And now they'll keep pushing.
On 1st and 10, it's Fields. Catch made by Austin. And he has it up towards midfield before he's taken down at the 47. They come through with a nice gain of 10 and a 1st down. Out of the shotgun, Fields. Chased out to his right. And he just gets rid of it. Knew he had a couple of plays left. Didn't want to take a risk there on 1st down.
You hear so many programs all around the league talk about it's all about the ball, it's all about the ball. Well, discretion been a part of Fowler in a lot of cases, and right there, he understood it's all about the ball, and I'm not going to risk a turnover wisely, throwing it away.
This is Harris on 2nd down. And they finally bring him down, but that is a big gain and a new set of downs. It's a 30-yard play, Brock, and they've got 3 set of downs.
Those outside runs so critical for running back, quarterback, O-line to hit their targets. They got a target area to expose that defense and make the most of it. And that offense just put on display some teaching tape for it.
He's within striking distance. And he's all the way down to the 6-yard line. Give him about 16 yards on that game, Brock, and it sets him up with 1st and goal.
And just in case his offense didn't have enough to contend with, now you got to worry about a quarterback that could do what he just did. Tote the ball himself for a big run.
From the red zone now. And he has the catch, gets both feet in, that's a touchdown! The Steelers start the 2nd half with some needed points. George Pickens the touchdown. Wow, just fantastic work there. Tiptoeing along the back line. The concentration was there. Great catch for 6.
Yeah, the concentration and the body control. I don't know how these receivers do it in this day and age. There's no space to work with, yet they have such an awareness to secure it first, to tap dance the line, and go get that touchdown.
Flying forward on the ground. And in a tight game, they turn to the run, and it rewards them with 2. We're all tied up. Now Boswell on to send this away. Washington now to return. Stopped on the return at the 27. Only one. Trying to shake off the interception. He's looking to throw. And oh, someone stepped in. It's intercepted. That is Lewis Seen. And the Steelers are finally stopped on the return. But they'll still take over on the edge of the red zone.
Well, that's now his second time that he's put his defense in a tough spot. That's a hard thing about playing quarterback, Dave. You know, with these interceptions and now the second on the day, you're asking your defense again to step up to another series, another possession, another challenge. This quarterback's got to start protecting the football.
Oh, he gets clobbered behind the line.
It sure seemed like he knew exactly where he was going with that right off the snap.
They'll come up 1st and 10. A handoff for Harris running right. And the defense is all over this one for a big loss.
Perception and reality, Kate. The perception out there from the public is edge rushers are defined by their sacks. The reality in a locker room and in the huddle is you could be defined by your relentlessness. And his motor never stopped. Helped him track it down for a loss on the outside.
And it's a nice game, but still not enough for the first.
Well, that doesn't net a first down. You get yards like that in the run game, you will take it in the NFL.
All plays on the table here for 3rd and 3. Back to throw it. The shot to the end zone is incomplete. Took his shot at 6 that time. So they're going to have to evaluate things now on 4th and short. Tough to blame him for that drop, Rock. Even if it would have been a touchdown, that was a great effort defensively, timing that hit, keeping them from hitting the end zone.
Reaction and burst. You get in the red zone defensively, you'll hear it all the time. You cannot wait. You've got to react, and then you got to burst. And that defender does a tremendous job of breaking that pass up with contact.
The Steelers calling their first time out. They still have 2 to work with in this final quarter. So here's Chris Boswell in a high-pressure spot. A very short kick here from the right hash. Flying down the heart of the lane, and it's good! And they take the lead in the 4th quarter.
Well, I tell you what, to get to this time of the game, you've got to have that reliable kicker on the sideline to turn things over to. That's the definition of clutch right there as they take the lead.
Washington now to return. And this drive will start inside the 25. Offense ready to begin this drive. 1st and 10. Looking to throw here and shake off that previous INT. Complete. It's Ingram. And he reaches the 35 before going out. And that one goes for a gain of 11. And that's a Jaguar 1st down.
You know, they really love that drag route because he's one of those guys that can count on not only to make the catch, but create after the catch. If they don't close on him quickly, he can add a lot of yards if someone tracks him down.
Finds a seam down the middle. And he does quite a bit of damage before they finally take him down.
You know, Kate, we often talk about flipping the field in special teams, right? A kick return, a good punt. Well, an explosive play like that does the exact same thing. Look at the difference in field position. Hitting on that shot, you've totally flipped the field and the tone of this drive.
No one open, so he chucks this to another county.
Well, that's one you chalk up to the pressure of earning that incompletion. They came in before he could find a target, hit him, altered that last-second attempt to get rid of it.
Lawrence trying again on 2nd. He's got the hook up to Ingram. And they'll advance this down to the 5-yard line.
The goal of that little drag route is to get him for at least a minimal gain with space to add after that. That picked up a good chunk, and it was nearly a big play.
Battle coming on 3rd and inches. He's back to throw. Complete beyond the marker. And they're going to take this in for the Jacksonville touchdown. The Jaguars take a 4th quarter lead. Little tax on the extra points. And the Jaguars take a 4-point lead. Now is Cook to kick this away. And no return as this bounces through the end zone for a touchback. 1st and 10 now from the 30. They'll empty the backfield and motion him right. This finds Austin complete. And he's up to the 35-yard line as they reel him in.
Every once in a while, it's fine to be conservative on 1st down, especially when you get enough to stay on schedule and get a little something coming out of it, too.
Here's Akers up the middle. And he's got a decent gain before being brought down. Give him 4 yards there, and they only need 1 more now on 3rd down. Looking to throw. Just got it away before the hit, but it doesn't matter. It's incomplete. 4th down coming up.
You know, that was a play, Kate, right there where you need to buy your receivers just enough time to get open along their routes. And your quarterback enough time to find and hit him with the throw. Time? Well, that's not what he had. O-line couldn't hold up, and it forces the incompletion.
All right, 1 more snap before the 2-minute warning. Desperation time here on 4th. After big yards on the right side. And he's all the way home. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. The Steelers have taken the lead late. Roman Wilson, the touchdown. Pretty important PAT here, Brock, to make it a field goal game. And he shakes out the pressure to nail the point after, and now an opposing field goal would only tie this game. Now Boswell on to send this away. Washington now to return. Drive will start out with a 1st and 10. Setting up to pass. He's just going to get rid of this one. Smart move there. When you saw the field, it's going to be 2nd down.
This is why we hear about closing speed so often when you evaluate players. You know, once he senses the pressure, he's getting rid of that ball. It takes a player who can close quickly to get to him before it's released and alter that throw.
He'll look to throw it. Completed to Reynolds. He's touchdown after a nice pickup there to get the 1st. Here he is to throw. He goes back to him yet again. Complete. And they push this down to the opposing 47-yard line. The Jaguars are going to call their first timeout. Football on that 47-yard line. 1st down. Jr. And what a hit there. Ouch, she pays the price for moving the chains that time.
I know the Combine tries to test everything it possibly can physically, but I don't know how you test courage at the Combine because there's nobody defending you. Nobody wants to hit you. That was the epitome of courage to make that in cut and make the catch.
1st and 10, it's Lawrence. Defender arrives right as the ball does, and the hit knocks it free. Incomplete. Ball and defender arrives at the exact same time there. And it sets up 2nd down. Sticking in the air with Lawrence. He had it for a moment, but a great defensive play to jar it loose. Incomplete. Just couldn't hang on through the contact. So now it's going to be 3rd and long.
Defender's not going to be thrilled the catch was almost made on his watch, but more importantly, he breaks it up. Gives him a chance to do a little giant after the play. Lets the other guy know he roughed him up and cost him that catch.
Looking to throw it. And he got there in time. He's taken down. And the defense comes through. 4th down, that much tougher.
We've learned how valuable sacks in a pass rush are in today's NFL. It's a bit surprising, isn't it, Kate, that that's their first sack of the game, but they found other ways to produce success on both sides of the ball. And they finally pick up a much-needed sack on that stat sheet.
There's the timeout. It's one of the last times they could afford to take a sack, and now they're down to maybe their final snap. Cam Little now in a high-pressure spot. All right, got a timeout here. Just 8 seconds remaining in our ball game. Cam Little gets the call on 4th down here. Put 3 up for the Jaguars. On the left hash, the distance 53 yards. And it's on its way and through. He hit it from deep. And in the final moments, they force overtime.
Overtime rested on his leg, Kate, and he got the job done. And now, if things go a specific way in OT, the next time we see him line up, it could be for the game winner.
And that one bounces through the end zone for a touchback. First and 10 now from the 30. They'll start with a gift to Harris. And he found some running room for a nice gain. That's going to do it. And postseason overtime differs from what we saw in the regular season. A touchdown on the opening drive doesn't end things anymore. Both teams guaranteed a possession. And if we're still tied after each team has had the football once, we then go to sudden death, and the first score takes it. A couple of evenly matched teams atop the AFC, but only one can represent this conference in the Super Bowl. Overtime is underway. And that one flies right on past the end zone. Didn't make an effort to hit the landing area at all, so they're going to give them a drive starting at the 30. They'll get this drive started. 1st and 10. Running back, motioning right. Oh, big interception here. And the Jaguars surprise them with the interception and now have a chance to win this game. Wow. Stunned silence up here and stunned silence on that sideline, partner. I mean, a pick on the very first play of overtime? That one may have just decided this ball game.
Well, this offense now has to go out on that field and capitalize. It's got to pay off what the defense just did. This is called complementary football, okay? Your defense goes out there, it takes the ball away extraordinarily. And now the offense has got to find a way to finish this game off with points.
Manages just a yard on first down. Now it's going to be 2nd and 9. Taps it quick to the receiver coming across here. Crosses the 35, room for more. Now about 29 yards on that play, partner, as they get the chains reset.
Didn't take a rocket scientist to know, Kate. They wanted to get the ball in this guy's hands any way they could, not just in the passing game. He just showed you why. This defense not prepared for his impact on the ground.
The kick is good. He got it. And they've taken back the lead.
That's why they spend all the time on the practice field during the week. That kind of operation. Perfect rhythm, perfect timing, and a 2 for 2 for this kicker.
So the Jaguars, the visitors in this one, but they take home the win. And they'll raise that Lamar Hunt Trophy high as champions of the AFC. And that earns them 2 more weeks of football until they head to the Bayou and fight for a Super Bowl. And with Brock Heward and our EA Sports crew, I'm Kate Scott saying so long from this one. It's a win for the Jaguars as we say so long from Pittsburgh.